Have you ever been using an item in Phasmophobia and you thought to yourself, man, just how useful is my items? Well, we'll have you determine the greatest arsenal with this special screen, which I am going to set a record of, since basically there's just a little, since the thing's just a little Chrome tab. But, yeah, we'll determine just how useful items are. So, how this works, we have all these items, and we're going to put it in each of their own tiers, determine what items are most useful, and what are least useful. So, we will determine it. And we'll also explore A, the science behind the items, B, how you're supposed to use them, and C, how useful each item is. So we'll start with the order that is put for each item. First, the book. This is typically the ghostwriting book, which is an evidence-finding tool for ghostwriting. So typically for ghosts like the demons. So we'll view this in the Phasmophobia wiki, which is the fandom page. So we will see how this goes. So here's evidence. So you'll see, here are the evidence. So you can see there's different ghosts that have different evidences. So the ghosts that have ghost writing are the demon, the Oni, the revenant, the shade, the spirit, and the Yuri. So since this is an evidence finding tool, it goes in S tier. So you probably cannot see it, but it's in S tier. I'm definitely sure on that. Next, another item called the candle. Now, typically I don't know how candles would work. I mean, I don't typically use candles. I mean, I would rarely use it, but it can be useful for when the lights are off. In that you probably need light, but you want the ghost to hunt it because it's probably like a mare. And that mares hunt more often when in the dark. Because you've probably known that fact when you discover that the ghost is a mare. So typically the candle can be useful, but I would just rather use lights. Like actual lights from the house. So I'm just gonna rather put the... Let's put it in B tier. That's where the candle should be. Sort of. Next item is Crucifix. Fuck. So yeah, the Crucifix is the item that allows you to stop a ghost from hunting. And also completing the objective, preventing the ghost from hunting with the Crucifix. And so, this can allow you to stop a hunt, so it can be extremely useful. So truly I would advise it. I would really advise using it. Also, another thing to keep in mind about crucifixes is you only get 2 uses per crucifix. And after the second use of the crucifix, it will disappear completely. And you have to use a new one. Of course, you only get 2, so that's 4 uses total. So, no doubt it goes in S tier. The next item, which is personally my go-to for item selection, the EMF Reader. Of course, this is a way you can detect the ghost room with EMF of at least 2 to 5. And of course, getting evidence EMF 5 for ghosts which are Banshee, Jinn, Oni, Phantom, Revenant, and Shade. So, this is most certainly my favorite item in the game, so it most certainly is an S tier. Actually, let me see if I can do this. Oh shit, there's an ads. Ads are not... Video not sponsored by these ads. Okay, let's see if I can add one. Add a row above. Whoops, okay, let's delete this row. Let's name it Simon's Top Pick, which is, of course, EMF Reader. So yeah, that'll be a new topic course. Crap, I need to learn my spell checking. to learn how to do my spell checking. Just move the window a bit. But yeah, that's typically my personal top pick for weapons. Of course, it's not the best, but I would use it. Next, the standard flashlight. Of course, this is a weapon no one or item. I freaking can't understand. What am I doing? Anyway, the flashlight is typically an item that allows you to see. Of course, it's not as strong as the strong flashlight, so I wouldn't necessarily advise this. I mean, if you don't have enough money, you can use it, and you do get one by default, so if you're playing solo, you can practically use it in case you forgot strong flashlight. So, typically, this is gonna go in C. So, this will be in C. Here, let me, put a little S. There we go. Now, heading on to cam. This is typically an item used for when you don't have... for when you want to have people as your tripods. So, typically, you let someone wear it, and then you can look for orbs. So, we're typically gonna allow it. We're typically gonna have it be in A tier. I mean, it's not the best weapon since it's practically worthless in solo, so... but it's still gonna be useful, so it's gonna be in A tier. Next, this is a weapon... oh my god, I can't stop with this. God, Half-Life, you're screwing me up. Anyway, god, I hope I don't make that mistake again. The infrared sensor. This is basically you put it on a wall, and if a ghost walks through it, then it lights up. Basically, it's like the motion sensor, only you don't use it to actually complete the objective. So, frankly, you're not going to really need that item. So, typically, the motion sensor, infrared sensor, isn't really the most useful item. It's probably the most useless item ever. So, I would really just not recommend it. So, it most certainly goes in D. Just don't freaking use this. It's a bad item. But here's another good item, lighter. This allows you to light either candles, which right here, and also the smudge sticks. So typically you're gonna use a lighter to use the two items. But yeah, that's typically the only purpose you would need it. And yeah, it's gonna really be a lifesaver, so... most certainly, S tier. Definitely S tier right here. Now we have the actual motion sensor. Like the infrared sensor, you can actually... it's more reliable. So, and you actually can use it to complete the objective, which is detecting a ghost's presence with the motion sensors. So yeah, typically, definitely use this all the time. Even if the objective isn't shown, you still are going to probably use it. So, S tier as always. Next, this is a strange item if you can consider it. The Paramic. Parabolic microphone's the full name. So, typically, this is a portable version of the sound sensor where you just have to aim it in a certain direction, like a gun. Like, yeah, a gun you can use in Half-Life, don't consider me wrong. And you'll get some frequencies from about 30 meters. Yeah, 30 meters because the new update. So yeah, this is typically going to be a strange item. I mean, I don't use it, but it's mainly useful for maps like Asylum or High School or Prison, which are the three large-size maps. Of course, Asylum's the biggest map, you just don't play it at all. Or maybe you are gonna play it, I don't know. But yeah, you guys probably will play it, so I wouldn't mind. But yeah, Parabolic mic, it's a strange item, but it can be useful since it did get a buff during the beta update and the more recent update. So yeah, typically this is a pretty useful item if you're not going to use the EMF or thermometer. So let's just put it in B. Or, yeah, let's just put in B. Now for Glowy Stick. Glowy Stick, Glow Stick. What the fuck am I still doing? But yeah, the Glow Stick simply allows you to... You typically put it down on the floor, and if a salt pile gets disturbed, you should see footprints. Unless it's a wraith, because you cannot actually see footprints. Because wraiths fly. So yeah, this is typically used for tracking footprints. But yeah, typically this is probably going to be useful enough. So, I mean, it's not a necessity, but it's a useful item anyway. So, it's going to be an A tier, like the hem on the cans. And also, speaking of salt, we have the actual salt itself. Typically, put it down on the floor. You have 3 uses, or infinite uses if you are a hacker. Yeah, don't hack the gang, kids. It's not a good idea. But yeah, typically you have the item itself, and you just put it down on the floor, and you should get some footsteps. And combine it with the glowy stick, and you should see footprints. Or not if the ghost is a wraith, because keep in mind, wraiths do not leave behind footprints. Just absolutely remember that. So yeah, this is typically useful, and you can also get a photo of the footsteps as well. And you'll get that photos right there. So, S tier, as always. Now, this is a real necessity. I would really want to use these. So, of course, these are called sanity pills. They restore sanity. Definitely use them. Of course, if you need to be specific on how much sanity it restores about 40% per canister. So yeah, make sure you have sanity pills. So yeah, S tier for real. Now for the smudge stick. Of course, you're gonna need a lighter for this. But once you light it, you can prevent a ghost from hunting for 90 seconds, which is 1.5 minutes. Which is also increased to 3 minutes if the ghost is a spirit, as the smudge sticks is their weakness. Need info? Well, here it is. Get rid of that ad, it's no sponsorings. So you'll see that. That's typically here. It says 180 seconds, which is 3 minutes. So yeah, most certainly S tier. Just use it. Now for the sound sensor. This is like the other 2 sensors, only it can actually track sound, not motion. So typically you gotta put in a room to get sounds. Now, of course, it's not really helpful for any objectives, but it'll be useful. Like, it's gonna be useful, I guess, so... But not typically. So, we'll just assume it's not really a necessity. So, we'll put in A. Okay, now for the spirit box. Of course, this is an evidence finding tool, so you... Oh, I need to see the arrow. So you'll see... Oh my god, okay. No sponsors. But yeah, the evidence is for spirit box for ghosts are the demon, jinn, mare, oni, poltergeist, spirit, and wraith. So typically you'll need it to track for those 6 ghosts. Wait, is this 6 or 7? I can't keep track. So yeah, this is an evidence finding tool, so it belongs in S tier. Now this is a real one everyone should need. It's the strong flashlight. Unless, of course, the host can't buy it because they're at a low enough level. So it's typically an upgrade to the regular flashlight, so you can see a lot more. So it's really going to be useful. So always use the strong flashlight. Even if you need the regular flashlight, you have to use the strong flashlight. It's just gonna save you one day. Now for another item which was good in the regular branch earlier, but it's not as good anymore because of its major nerf. Of course, that I'm talking about is Thermometer. Of course, everyone knows how to use a thermometer. You have to go into a room and search for a room that is below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, or 10 Celsius if you are a nerd and use Celsius. But yeah, real Americans use Fahrenheit for days. So yeah, that can be a new hashtag. Fahrenheit for life. So yeah, new hashtag for the YouTube channel. So yeah, I mean, the thermometer is kinda useful, but it's not typically as useful as it once was, since if you turn off the breaker nowadays, then you'll see that the thermometer's temp will drop to as low as 41. So, and when you turn it on, you have to wait for it to slowly increase up. So, meaning the thermometer is like almost useless if you play professional. So, but yeah, if you play other difficulties, then you can use it. But of course, let's just face it, there's other methods like the EMF. You can literally use the EMF. So yeah, thermometer, I'm sorry, bro. You will belong in B tier. And now for the tripod. Typically, you won't need this, but I would try to use it for to actually place the video cameras. So we're gonna necessarily be. So we're definitely gonna recommend this. So A tier. No, actually, let's put it in the tripod or S tier. Yeah, it's gonna be very useful. Okay, let me actually add another Let me add another option. So let's name it Evidence Found. So let's use the evidence finding tools, except the EMF reader is my personal topic. So we'll just put all the evidence finding tools in here. Which is what so the evidence tools we got so far. So we'll typically need that. And let's see, what else? We need, okay, well, it doesn't clearly matter. That's the, evidence finding tools we have gotten. So yeah, that is typically... So that's typically the evidence finding tools we have so far. And next up is UV light, or UV torch if you are a Brit. Yeah, I know many people are Brits. Yeah, I know people that are Brits, just trust me. But yeah, UV light, you search fingerprints. It's truly an evidence finding tool, so it goes to evidence found. Oh shit, I need to drag the window up a bit. Oh wait, it's in now, it's in. Okay, let's drag it back down. Now, this is another evidence finding tool for ghost stories, which is the video camera. Typically, combine it with the tripod to look for orbs, so you can determine if it's a Jinn, Mare, Phantom, Poltergeist, or Yuri, or Shade. So yeah, this is a true necessity, so it goes evidence found at tier. So this is typically going to be useful. And the last item, the photo camera. So typically, everyone personally uses this one. So you're basically gonna take pictures of stuff like you know, bones, Ouija boards, voodoo dolls, if that's a thing. Because yeah, if you play Farmhouse, you'll find voodoo dolls. Footsteps, you know, if the ghost stepped on a salt pile, the photo of the actual ghosts, dead bodies, and like, there's a lot of different things you can get photos with. Like, here's all this. See, you can see all these. Like, these are all the different evidences you can get with photos. So, this is most certainly going to be an S tier. I'm not kidding. It goes in S tier. Alright, now we've gotten all the... Now that we've got everything sorted out, let's go over my top picks. So, number 1, strong flashlight. This is a real necessity. I would truly advise using it. Number 2, EMF reader. It's I have a feeling it's way better than Thermometer, since the Thermometer is not as good as it once was. I mean, like, before, you could easily find the room, but nowadays you have to, like, keep the breaker on for it to actually be reliable. Like, it's so weird that it has that, so it's not going to be my top pick. And another part of my top pick, where is it? The photo camera. So these are typically the 3 items I would typically use in every phasmophobia mission that I would grab first at the start of a mission. So yeah, I'll typically be using those. And of course, photo camera can easily take photos, of course, and yeah, we get the ideas of photo evidences. So yeah, those are the different items and my personal top picks. So yeah, hopefully this video has been useful. Of course, if you can't see the items through because my cam being in the way, here it is. My personal top picks. So yeah, hopefully you found this video useful. Maybe you wouldn't find this useful, but typically if you find it, leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell, and yeah, that'll be an idea. Make big ideas for bigger videos. Alright, let me just pause the video.